Good morning, it's Rashida checking in to say hi and to give you a little bit of an update about the whole eye situation I've been dealing with. It's still red, my vision's still pretty blurry, and I've started to get a little bit concerned. Usually this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this is day 6. Usually by day 6, things have cleared up. I've taken some prednisone, I've done some eye drops, everything's fine. What I'm seeing now is that if I don't wake up every hour to put eye drops in when I wake up in the morning, my eye is all fucked up, to be perfectly honest. Even if it's pretty good at night before I go to sleep, by the time the morning rolls around, even if I put drops in every 2 or 3 hours, if I'm not doing it consistently throughout the night every hour, or even at a shorter frequency than that, then in the morning my vision is just gone. So the reason I'm concerned is, like I said, this isn't usually what happens. Usually 2 or 3 days it clears up. I've been taking prednisone. I started at 20 milligrams and then I upped it to 50 the other morning when it was really bad in the morning when it had been fine the night before. If you've ever taken prednisone, a couple of things. One, you should not be self-prescribing prednisone, but I've been doing this, like I said, for almost 20 years now, so I know what to do. I know how to get off of it. I know how to taper off, and I avoid doctors. So I'm at 50 milligrams now. As soon as it clears down a little bit, hopefully in the next day or two, I will start to taper off of that. Prednisone is usually a last resort for me because of the side effects. It prevents me from sleeping, so I'm up all night like a maniac. Last night I tried to go to bed at 9, and I think I fell asleep around 1. And then I was up at 6, but that may have been the trash trucks outside my window. It also makes me eat like crazy, so I ate dinner last night probably around 7, and I should have been fine. But by 10, I was like, I must eat. I must eat. So the first thing I did this morning was put like 1,000 drops in my eye. And then I ran out and I got breakfast at a pretty cool spot that's a few blocks away with my sunglasses on the entire time, putting drops in my eye all through the meal. And then on my way back, I brought in some food with me to the apartment so that I won't have to go back outside to get some food later on. Just, some mangoes with chili and lime. Pretty excited about eating those, and some fresh squeezed orange juice from a street vendor. I know some of you will say don't eat from street vendors, but come on, live a little. Speaking of a little and eating, last night at dinner, I thought about it, and I've been in Mexico 3 weeks. I think in that 3 weeks I've become like 50% tacos al pastor and 50% gelato. And then this morning, that was reinforced for me because I went to a restaurant, and part of the description of the restaurant on the menu said, "We are made of corn," which I think traces back to a Mayan origin story. And then it dawned on me. That is when it hit me. I might have a corn sensitivity. Some of you know I'm sensitive to like 30,000 foods. I can't eat gluten, and I stick to that like 95% of the time. I'll cheat every once in a while, but it's very rare. I can't do dairy, a lot of nuts. I have to avoid sugar. There's a whole bunch of things that are like not good for me. Sugar's not as bad as the others. And I found this out the last time I had an eye flare, which was February 2016 when I was in Bogota. I was in Bogota, my eye flared for a long time. I think I was up to like 100 milligrams of prednisone. Shh, don't tell anyone. Every time I tell a doctor about it, they freak out. But it's what I had to do because my eye would not calm down. I'm trying to deal with it with the drops this time. And then after I got back from Bogota, I had a fever of 104 for 2 days, and then 102 for 2 days, and then I went to the hospital. And I got some IV fluids, and it went down. And then after that, I had a fever, a raised temperature from around 99 to 100 for 2 months. And after 2 months, a couple of my friends told me they were doing the Whole 30 diet. And I tried it, and if you've ever done Whole30 as a cleanse or a diet, you know that you have to stop eating all the food that is like tasty and delicious. Like you could eat meat and vegetables and fruit, but like no sugar, no corn, no flour, no dairy. Cut out everything. I cut out everything. My fever went away. The rash that I had developed went away. And I had no more problems with my eyes. I've had no problems with my eyes since then. I don't stick to Whole30 all the way, obviously. There are things that they don't recommend you eat that I do eat. Since I've been in Mexico, one of them is corn. I've been hitting it pretty heavy because it's everywhere. It's in everything. It's delicious. Why wouldn't you? And corn is the only thing I can think of right now that is a food that I'm eating that could be perpetuating the eye thing. Because like I said, usually I take the drugs, it clears up. Whatever, the iritis is usually flared because of stress or something like that. As you know, my stress level is pretty low right now. I have nothing to stress about except, of course, the eye. So now I'm kind of wondering if the continued eating of the corn is continuing to exacerbate some sort of irritation in my system. So do I have a sensitivity to it like I do to gluten that I just didn't realize because I wasn't eating it in large quantities until I got here. So I'm going to try to cut out corn out of my diet, which I think might mean leaving Mexico. Like, I don't know what to do here if I'm not eating corn. I haven't seen a salad in weeks. I could probably find one if I really tried, but I just haven't, I haven't seen one. So yeah, and before you ask, I did go to a doctor the last time I had this flare in 2016. I went to a doctor who sent my blood away to like all these different US agencies like the CDC to figure out what the hell was wrong with me because no one could figure it out. I went to a specialist. I went to a rheumatologist. The last person I went to, the rheumatologist, said she thought I had an unknown or an unidentified immune disorder, and that's just what it was going to have to be. Sort of you're immunocompromised in some way, but we don't know what way it is. We don't know what this is. Your body's just attacking itself. So good luck and take these drugs. I didn't take the drugs. I did Whole30. Everything cleared up. And here I am 2 years later, 2.5 years later, and my eye is wonky again. So moral of this really, really long story is I'm going to try to cut corn out of my diet, which means no tortillas because I can't do flour tortillas. I can't do corn tortillas, which I think means no tacos, which, why, Lord? I love tacos. I'm 50% tacos al pastor at this point. So I will see what I can do. I'm going to try my best to limit everything I eat, stick to fruits and vegetables as much as I can, and hopefully that will help clear up whatever's going on in my eye. I may even try to go back and visit Whole30, but if you've ever done it, you know it's like super painful, and for me it really is a last resort because it's so restrictive. Anyway, I'm going to put my sunglasses back on because the light that's coming in so that we can film this is actually hurting my eye right now, and I'm going to be inside with sunglasses on for a little while as I hope these meds kick in and the drops I've been putting in for the last maybe 2 hours really start to do something because we're not doing anything yet. So this is my story. This is my song.